Like, man, you're going to look at this tattoo every time. You're going to go back to those moments with your friend. I love memorial tattoos.
I've gotten permission a lot. People have said, please, be an adult. We permiss you to be an adult.
That's special stuff, man.
That's a badass tat. That almost...
Hop up, man. Take a look in the mirror. Make sure that's what you want.
Right. So what's the tattoo you got? I haven't seen it yet.
It's a. See, I think part of this show is getting. You know, I gotta give it a little bit of. That's fine. I gotta get over it. You know, I don't ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't shoot guns.
Okay.
This is it for me.
Just the tattoo?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
This is crazy. So you know,
this is crazy.
I've only gotten one in my life.
Crazy.
And it's of your favorite indie rock band.
It feels so good. It feels
just
all those people are such liars. Oh, I like getting attacked. I think
I
it
do
feels
like
great. No, you
tattoos.
don't. No, you don't.
I do.
That's
Boodro
crazy.
does.
I kind of like it.
That's
Yeah, Chef kind of
you
likes
guys
it.
are crazy.
Crazy.
If it doesn't hurt, it's not worth getting.
Yeah, man. And you know,
well,
look,
actually, I feel that way about different things. So
like what?
that's how I play cards. You know?
Yeah.
People go, "Oh, you don't gamble with money that you can't afford." It's like, no, that's how you fucking gamble. That's gambling.
That's how you feel something. Is it really gambling if I can lose? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the tattoo?
Okay, so my best friend, I grew up with him. He was like my first buddy. I have an English dad, British dad, and an American mom, and he had British parents too. So we did like Christmases together and Thanksgiving. He's like a family friend.
Yeah.
Basically a brother.
Yeah.
He passed away in early 2019. He died of basically a brain hemorrhage seizure while he was asleep.
Same age as you?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. I think he was a year older, and when he died, in his wallet he had written. He didn't print it. He wrote it out. Handwritten list of Gandhi's 10 rules to change the world.
Wow.
And number 4 is persist. So
That's what the tattoo is?
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna look like a little strip of paper, kind of
Yeah.
like it was out of his piece of paper.
It's a great idea. When did you come up with that idea? Was it when you
Like
knew
a
you were
week
gonna-
after he died.
Yeah. And you just had it in the pocket the whole time.
Yeah.
That's cool,
At
man.
first I was like, maybe I'm just like, mourning and I think this is a good idea. So I've sat on it for years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And then this opportunity comes up and that's the thought. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
solid tattoo. See, so that's...
It hurts a lot.
Yeah, see, so for me, that's why the hurt is good. It's like
Yeah.
the hurt, the pain, you got to feel it. That hurt, that pain is a way of feeding into that mourning, paying tribute to that friend. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't hurt, is it worth it?
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
true.
And, mourning a friend with something like this is like, that's pretty dope. I didn't know. Like I said, I try to keep all the tattoos kind of, I don't like to know what they are going in. That way I can have
It's a better show.
legit questions. you know
Yeah,
what
I don't feel like I'm having this conversation for the 3rd time, which is good.
Yeah.
Feels like you're gently scraping my bone. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
complain
what
a lot, Boodro. Don't take it. I hope you're not taking it as a personal offense.
I feel fine.
Okay. Complaining is my
language.
strategy to get through shit.
It really-
you know?
it-
I gotta complain a little bit.
You got to complain to persist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So you get the tattoo. You complaining is your strategy
Yeah, man.
with everything. It does
With a
feel
lot
like
of
that.
stuff, but I get through shit. You know what I'm saying? I persist.
Yeah.
I complain.
Just
I say it
loudly.
sucks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be loud. 'cause-
No, I mean loudly in life. You're a loud complainer.
Yeah. I'm trying to be better about. There are some things I will never complain about.
Like what?
Food at a restaurant. You could poop on a plate. You could poop on a plate, charge me $45 for it, and I'll eat it.
Poo-poo platter.
If you
Wow.
want to be into that. I guess.
So you'll pay $45.
Yeah, I mean, I got free time.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
And I could use $45.
I could use $45. I mean, you could just not eat it. Like I go with the whole.
Well, yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, I go with the whole complain thing because like mistakes happen. You know, now if I can't eat it, then I say something.
Yeah,
for
But I
sure.
mean, like if I order beef and they bring me chicken, I'm not saying nothing.
Exactly. That's
You
what I'm
know?
saying. I like chicken too.
Yeah, like chicken too. I was so close to ordering chicken.
Out on,
Yeah.
out
I
on
like
the
chicken
edge.
So you said that this is your first tattoo since you were how old? You're
Since I was 20.
since you were 20 and you're 28 now.
Yeah.
You're 28, so you haven't had a tattoo in 8 years. Your first one. You do a bit about it on stage.
Yeah.
A tattoo of your
It's my favorite band.
still your favorite band.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm
That
gonna
worked
go
out.
see him at Red Rocks again this year.
Nice.
They
That's fun.
rock.
What's the band?
Lord Huron.
Oh, you played that. We played them the other night when we were playing golf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I like that. It's good
Yeah.
music.
Kind of. That album is a little like sort of funky, space rock.
How did you find them? What does it mean to you, that album?
I found them just through a friend, and their first album is a lot about like going off on your own and making your own adventure and going off to see new worlds and new lands. It's a story about a traveler, and there's some romance in it too. It's like a folk
Yeah.
thing.
A folk tale.
And the music sounds so good when you're stoned. When you're
Yeah.
stoned walking through a forest, like that's
it.
where you want to be when you're listening to it. And all those lyrics really spoke to me when I was 18. I was in Fargo, North Dakota. I had done comedy one time and I really liked it, but I didn't want to do it because it was too embarrassing because all my friends wanted to come see. And I just felt stuck, dude. And that music like inspired me to be like, I'm going to move to North Carolina. I'm going to go to a place where I don't know anybody and I have no friends. I only know my parents and I'm going to figure shit out. And so I feel like I owe that album like my whole, because then I started doing comedy. I met everybody. That's why I'm here right now.
So your parents were already here?
Yes. They
Okay.
moved here when I was like 19, 18, 19, something like that.
What were you doing at 18, 19? Where were you?
Fargo in college.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I was with a girl. I broke up with her. And recently we got engaged, which is kind of funny.
Oh, right.
This
So you got-
tattoo I have on my shoulder was like I broke up with my girlfriend of 4 years kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I want to, it's like a haircut.
I got to
but
change.
badass.
Dude.
Yeah.
I got a
yeah.
couple of those.
I got to change myself.
So you guys dated for 4 years.
Yes.
You broke up.
Uh-huh.
You moved to North Carolina.
For sure.
Started doing comedy.
Yep.
You did all this stuff.
I love it.
And then you moved to Chicago.
I meet another girl.
Yeah.
She's doing improv and making a lot of money. Not doing improv, but making a lot of money doing something else. This is a crazy story, actually. This is a wild story. I met this girl at her going away party. She was moving to France to be with her boyfriend. And we had a good time or whatever. We went to a bar. We had some drinks.
Yeah. Been
And-
there.
And you follow the yellow brick road and you get to where the Wizard of Oz is. I think tattooing does this get you high kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
A
you
little
feel
bit.
crazy. I
Get
feel
some endorphin.
crazy
Well,
right now.
you feel like that all the time. This is just an excuse for you to feel that way.
But yeah, I met this girl at her going away party and we spent like 2 weeks together before she moved to France. And then she moved to France and then she broke up with her French boyfriend and moved back to North Carolina. And then we started dating. And her parents, talk about parents who hate you. Her parents
Yeah.
hated me.
Why?
What happened to the French boy?
Exactly. Because
Is
she was
it-
supposed to, her whole plan was like to live in France.
Oh, and instead,
And-
going to France with this lovely gentleman.
Sophisticated guy.
Instead, going to Chicago with Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This like 20-year-old with a weird tattoo, and I had a line in my head,
Yeah.
and I was a
You always say that like that's the worst thing you were
I
doing
don't have
back
a lot.
then.
I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot to give.
Right.
I don't have a lot of crazy things. So a line in my head.
Shut the fuck up. You don't have a lot of crazy things. Your whole situation is a crazy thing.
Well, I mean physically. I never changed my physical appearance to be
Right.
that crazy.
But you
A
always
line in my head was a big deal.
Why? Why was it a big deal?
Just because I never got a line in my head. You know what I'm saying?
It looked good. You had a good haircut for a while.
I
Yeah.
did. I think my hair looks way better now.
I'm not saying it looks bad now.
I look like a fucking 90s. What's that? One Tree Hill.
Mm.
No, I never saw it.
It's a good reference. Yeah.
You don't bring up One Tree Hill if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I was like, that's not like, I just
Like
saw
you
it.
said One Tree Hill, and I'm like, is this a show?
He
or
backed
a
right out of
museum
it.
or
Yeah,
something, and he's like, oh, it's episode
I never saw
4.
Episode 4, 13 minutes in. He backed out of that so quickly. So
this is the one.
you met a girl, you dated her for 4 years, you broke up, you got the tattoo, you come here, you meet the girl, she's doing improv, she doesn't go to France, you guys go to Chicago, you guys break up, you don't know what the fuck you're doing in
Yeah,
Chicago.
then I'm just in Chicago, trying my best.
And every time we talk, I'm like, how you doing, Nick? You're like, I'm trying my best.
Because I was doing really well in North Carolina. I was getting booked on a lot of shows, and I feel like I was doing a good cycle of like old jokes. A new joke would come, and I'd add that new joke into some old jokes, and that would work. And I was in a good cycle of getting new material and getting rid of bad jokes and putting in good ones. And then I moved to Chicago, and I just start running the time all the time, running the best 8 jokes I have because I'm trying to impress people and get booked. And that drove me crazy because when that didn't work, I was like, well, I'm the worst comedian of all time.
Yeah.
And part of me was like, oh, I'll move to Chicago and I'll just see if I'm good or not. And I said that being like, but I am good.
Right.
And then you move there and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm not.
Yeah.
And that sucked. That sucked to like go through that. But I think that happens in every profession,
1,000,000%.
especially ours.
It has to.
It has
It has to.
It has to.
If it doesn't, then you're not cooked all the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that smack in the face is an essential part of the growth or knowing I still have to change. The worst thing that could have happened
This is my
to you.
last tattoo 100%. Last tattoo 100%.
The worst thing that
I
could
love you, Boodro. I bet you're doing a great job down there.
He is. The worst thing that could have happened to you is moving to Chicago and then not feeling that. Thinking that you were great.
Oh, well, yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That would have been the worst thing that happened.
Horrible.
Yeah, right? So, that pain you go through is like fucking totally worth it.
And it makes me try harder. I still have to try harder. I always.
But you're like, you use those things as like,
What do I do?
you use those things
I'll
as like
hit you in the
motivation.
mouth. I'm so crazy right now. I want to punch you in the mouth. I'd never punch Trendy. I'm not a violent person.
Why do you want to punch me in the mouth? I didn't do anything. I'm so nice to you.
put him
all
out
the
of his
time.
misery.
Because that makes me crazy,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
It's like someone's in your ear all the time going, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's what a tattoo feels like. Someone be like, why are you doing that? You got stuff to do.
Do you?
No, I'm not saying, it's not literal. I'm just saying that's the amount of like
Annoyance?
annoying pain,
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'll stop talking about it. at
No,
some
you
point.
do whatever you
No,
want to do,
yeah.
man.
It's the thing that's happening. It'd be weird if you were
Yeah.
not talking about
Just
the thing that was
stone
happening.
face.
Yeah.
I bet you get those guys all the time.
Yeah, JD sat. He didn't say
Didn't
nothing.
say anything.
No, we just had a regular conversation.
It hurt, didn't it, JD? It hurt. I know it does.
Well, yeah, he said it hurt,
Yeah, it hurts.
but he also like took it. He wasn't a pussy.
What is about being called a pussy that really
It
gets
bothers
to
you so
Something
much.
It
It's
does.
a
And I'm not
caveman
even that
thing.
guy, you
So
know?
you're
I'm a-
Marty McFly syndrome.
Yes.
A little
Nobody
bit.
calls me chicken.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You do have that. Where does that come from? Because I've been wondering that about you. here
Insecurity,
recently.
probably.
Yeah, but from where? Where does it come from? Is it from your dad?
People, it's the podcast.
No.
People love doing that. They go, what is it? Your dad?
No, it's
Maybe.
a legit conversation.
Maybe.
It's a
He's not a manly guy though. He doesn't see any value. Anytime I even like, where I would mention going to the gym or I got to go to the gym. He go, the only muscle that matters, lad, is up here.
yeah.
So he doesn't. He's not a mask guy.
So where
at
does
all.
that? How come you
School,
have that
maybe?
machismo shit? That
I don't have a machismo.
You're
It's-
chasing it so bad, like you.
It's just being called something about being called a pussy makes me feel sad. It makes me
Right.
feel like I got to keep doing it.
I'm just joking.
Oh, I know. No, I don't. I don't mean sad. Sad was it.
Why does it bother?
I guess
you?
when it's Boodro, it's not bad. But when you're like on the playground in 5th grade and like
There it
there's a
is.
girl, and she goes, "Just kick it, you pussy!" Like you want to die, you want to kill everybody.
Now we know where it came from.
Yeah.
I said earlier school, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably something in school.
it's like a fight or flight thing that happens in your brain.
Yes.
It's a total like dudes born in like before the. I don't know. I'm sure kids now still do it, but it's like I don't know what it is. Like,
I don't think I ever had it.
yeah.
I don't think I
What?
ever. I don't think when people called me
That's
names,
because yeah,
I had a lot going on.
yeah, you had a
Yeah.
lot going on.
Yeah, so you can call
You
me
had
a
real
name.
shit
I'm
going
trying
on.
to figure out where food's coming
yeah,
from.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can call me a name all you want. It's not. So that's why I wonder with you, because it's like I look at you, and we have a relationship. I love you. You're like one of my little babies.
Okay.
And but then I wonder where that competitive, because you don't say no. You make no good decisions in those moments, dude. When you are losing, not only do you
have to persist. You have to persist.
but isn't that different than being stubborn?
Yes. No. I don't know. That's a good question. What's the difference between persisting and being stubborn?
I don't know. I'm unsure.
Ignorance, probably. Persist.
Well, I would say that stubborn, you're not willing to change.
Right.
Persist, you're willing to be fluid. You know?
Yes.
So like I mean,
yes.
you went to so like this is like we were talking a little bit earlier, and I know we tried not to talk before the podcast, but like I think about you got that influence from that album, and like I mean I listened to albums and got influence. I guess it was just kind of like a different influence, and so you got an influence to go out and do and live your dream and do all this stuff and everything else, and I mean you're like 28 now, and you've been like doing that, and man, whenever I was 28, like I was telling y'all earlier, I really felt like I was getting permission to be an adult, like I didn't feel like I had that, and maybe it's because of where I'm from, like I'm, being from South Louisiana, and all you really know is that culture and that influence and stuff like that, and very few people leave. Like people just don't leave there.
Yeah.
And so like whenever I finally did move, man, it was such a window of like there's more that's possible than just working offshore my whole life. There's more that's possible than losing the tips of all my fingers, being a ship fitter,
Oh shit! You were doing real shit. You were doing like real ship man work stuff.
Yeah, man, I built heliports for a living.
What?
Yeah, commend you, man, just for jumping out on that ledge and not knowing, whether you were gonna sink or swim, and it just, and I like the like fear keeps us in a silo a lot.
You're right. Yeah.
Like I mean, we just like get it into our mind, like you said, you like you went there. You're doing your strongest jokes and it's driving you crazy because you got to prove, you got to validate that I'm good at something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say you're still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good enough.
Persisting.
Like, yeah, you're persistent. You're good enough. And like I would say that in persistence, there is a certain amount of stubbornness. Like you're not going to tell me I can't do this.
Yeah. It's not quitting.
Yeah. But I mean, but if you're unwilling to change,
yes, that makes it stubborn.
and unwilling to flex, then you're going to get locked into a silo where essentially nobody's going to really want to deal with you.
Oh, it was so nice.
Are you willing to
I
change?
love it when Boodro talks.
Yeah. If you had, if right now it's like we're going to stop the tattoo, you get 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds to go back and talk to 20-year-old Nick and say whatever you want. What do you say? 3, 2, 1, go.
You gotta make some money at some point. You need money at some point. More money than you have now and more money than you think you need. I know I sound like dad, but you need
10 seconds.
You need $5,000. You need $5,000.
5 seconds.
And computers.
2 seconds.
Computers is how to do that.
That's it.
Just imagine walking out of the idiot box at night and then some guy comes up to you. You need $5,000 computers.
I'm pretty sure that happened with some of the homeless guys, dude. You have $5,000 now, and you own a computer. So
Yo, if I got $5,000 when I was 20, holy shit.
you would have killed yourself.
I would have bought the stupidest bong. Like the stupidest, like one you can't even smoke out of. Like one of those like ridiculous like pieces of art.
Yeah.
That's one of the, I've spent money on a lot of stupid things.
What's the worst thing you spent your money on?
Bongs. I'll stand by that. Like I will stand by that. Bongs are, I have one right now, but they're going to break and it's not, you don't need 4.
Yeah.
I bought 4. I had 4 bongs. I had one that you could hit laying down. I had one that was kind of like crunchy plastic, so you could make it a different size. I had one in the shower.
You had a shower bong?
I had a shower bong because I thought that was like, oh, I'm like fucking a Judd Apatow movie. I'm fucking cool. When it's sad, you're a drug addict. That's the other thing I'd say to my 20-year-old self. I'd be like, hey, by the way, you're a drug addict. Stop it.
Why are you taking a bunch of pills? Just
So many. I was prescribed them, to be fair, but way too much pills.
Yeah.
I was prescribed 20 Xanax and 30 Klonopin a month.
Oh, wait.
That's a Klonopin a day.
Yeah.
Keeps the doctor away.
That was a psychiatrist because I was going there and I was having these horrible panic attacks where I'd curl up into a ball because I had no idea. My whole life I was like, you got to get a degree and then you'll have like some shitty job and you'll figure it out. And then I was failing out of school and it just nothing made sense. It was horrible. You know, I had no direction, no idea who I wanted to be. And so I went to the psychiatrist and I was like, I'm having these panic attacks. And instead of them being kind of like, hey, listen, here's a little bit to help with the panic attacks, but you might just be going through some
things that you got to work on.
Some things I've always had, not always, but I have depression. I've had depression since I was like 16 or whatever. So he just gave me, the most barbiturates. Those drugs are not, they feel fucking amazing. But
yeah, they definitely relieve some of the symptoms.
Oh, what is that? What did you just do?
Water.
Oh, water's good for you.
And water is good for you. You gotta stay
Holy
hydrated.
shit, water's
First water you drink all day, huh?
yeah.
The depression's still a thing?
Nah.
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 Eh.
Nah, I don't even like depression.
It's a thing. It's never not a thing.
Well, sometimes it's not a thing, but you just said nah.
Well, it's like
It's not your personality.
it's like someone's vaping in a room. That's my depression. It's like someone's vaping and it's like, oh, sometimes I smell it and I go, oh, it's like cherry vanilla. And then I move on, you know? It's not like
crippling you anymore?
crippling me. And I have my partner in crime and she has her own like anxiety kind of stuff. And we're really good at communicating when we need help with that or we just kind of talk about it.
How'd you get to that point of communication with her? With each other?
It was what happened, and I'm very lucky. So we went out
It seems that
when
way.
we were kids,
Hope yeah.
when we were teenagers, and then
This is the girl you broke up with and got a tattoo.
yes. We broke up, and then I
And
got
then
the
you
tattoo.
didn't see each other for a very long time.
Yeah. Like 4 years, and then I moved to Chicago, and I broke up with the girl that I moved there with, and so we started communicating again, and it was just kind of
What's so good?
our communication, bro.
Why?
It's gnarly.
How'd you do it?
How did I do it? You just start. Okay, well, when we got back together, it was like we were both different people, but we had both aged, and we kind of talked about all of the stuff that didn't work before,
Yeah.
and how we're changed now. We're gonna do it this way, and we from the beginning, we set like we're gonna communicate with each other. We're gonna make sure we know how we're feeling. And I've had slip ups. There are times where I'm not good at it, and she's good at not making that a fight, but making sure I know that I messed up. So
That's big. Like,
Really
hey, here's
big.
this mistake. It's not, you don't have to be full of shame and
No,
go into
no,
a
no.
spiral about this.
just you're making me feel bad, that
Yeah.
kind of thing, and you should
Good to
fix
know
that.
Here's how it affected me. Yeah.
I'm pumped to get married. I think it's gonna be fun.
I love that sentence. I'm pumped to get married. I think it's gonna be fun.
Well, everyone, especially you, you're like, oh yeah, enjoy it. Your first one's great. So
No,
you said
I
something
never
like
said that, dude.
You said something like
I
that.
never said that, man. I probably said I remember my first marriage.
Yeah, something like that.
No, dude, I'm happy for you. I think I think she's a good girl. From everything you tell me, it sounds like she's a good fit for you.
And it also persists kind of, not in a creepy way, but it sort of relates to that too. Because I always, once we weren't together, she kind of stayed in the back of my mind the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, I did goof around. I mean, you knew me when I was goofing around.
Oh, I met you when you was full goof.
Yeah.
I met full goof Nick.
Like
I exclusively knew goof Nick.
yeah. Boodro, are you married?
No, I'm divorced.
Divorced, okay.
Yeah, it did not work out.
But he's in a relationship now.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Much healthier relationship.
Good.
The whole open communication that you're talking about, like exist, and that's the thing is, there is compromise and there is, open discussion to where like we might not agree on the same subject, but we will sit there and talk about it and like gain knowledge from each other's view, like, I mean, there's been stuff, stuff that doesn't mean anything, and then stuff that does mean something, and it's been like the same discussion the same way, here's valid points, here's invalid points, this is what adds value, this is what doesn't add value, and how do we grow past this point,
Yeah.
And I think those things are important. Having time together, having time apart, like, I mean,
Yeah.
like if your world revolves around somebody else,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think
no
it's
good.
healthy for either party, and so I think there's just, as time progresses, you I don't know, I hate to say it, you figure things out as it happens, and like in the end, like you just, like Trundy and I were talking about last night, none of us know what the formula is. We're just trying to figure out the problem,
Yeah.
And so like
Yeah.
it's just like, just keep going, just keep moving, just keep doing what you think is correct. Keep trying to be a better person. Keep trying to treat people better. And I mean, that's where I'm at now, man, is I'm doing a lot of self-work, looking at a lot of the shit that I fucked up. No, I can't take none of it back, but how can I change the future to where, I'm a better person in the world and doing better things. And that's just kind of where I'm at is, like relationships with people. I expect nothing from anybody. I just don't. Like, I mean, yeah, if we can communicate together and we can work together and we can do things together, great. If you hate my guts, that's fine too, And so that's kind of where I'm at in life.
If somebody hates your guts, you go, that's fine.
Yeah.
You have to get to that point, man.
Damn.
That's been a big one for me here recently.
Yeah.
It's like
That's monk shit.
holding myself to a
You
high
might be
standard.
a monk, Boodro.
He could be. Hold
You should
myself
see
to,
my kung fu.
holding myself to high standards and not learning how to not hold everyone else to those standards. It's like not that I keep my standards. I don't take care of myself or love myself as much as I should, but I don't get as upset with people when they mistreat me now. I used to. It used to really be like a thing, man. It's like, how fucking dare you?
Uh-huh.
Now it's like, man, I can't imagine what it's like to be you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard being me. I can only imagine it's hard being you too.
Because you know him. I still am. He's my best pal, Mark McPartland.
Yeah.
But it was a couple of years ago. There was a moment when he got it was just like a show at Helium Philly, but it was like it was kind of a big show. It was
You
like
got a thing.
it was like a thing.
Yeah.
And he didn't I don't think he told anybody. I don't know. It was just like him and Sam Prickett or something, and I didn't know until like somebody else brought it up around him or something. And I like blew up. I was like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't you tell me any of that? Like, I care about you. Like, why would, that's a huge deal. Like, that's exciting. I'm happy. And it's weird to be pissed off and to be like, I'm fucking happy for you. Why didn't you fucking tell me?
Yeah.
And I think that really, I hated doing that. And then I could tell it like it weirded him out. You know, Mark
Yeah.
doesn't like confrontation whatsoever. So he was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And
That's why I didn't tell you.
that's why he didn't tell me. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like, that's the kind of I shouldn't. There should be no expectation. Like Mark doesn't have to tell me
Right.
every show. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's like you get to make your decisions on what you do with your information, and people should be cool with it, and
yeah.
vice versa and same. You know what I mean? I'm one of the lessons I've learned over the last like year or so, maybe 2 years, is that I was highly overvaluing a lot of my friendships. Like I was like, oh, we're fucking brothers, and then it turned out we're just friends. You know what I mean?
You got friend zoned by pals.
It happened all the time, man. I looked at it like, oh, we did this together. We started doing this together. I just always assumed and this is with a lot of people.
We can be brothers, Trundy. It's okay.
Well, you know, you and I are very close, but there has been times where I've had to be like, I don't know if I feel differently than he feels. And so letting people feel the way they feel has been a real thing for me. And, you know, growing up with like nobody, when you get as an adult, I tend to over attach to people, and having to take that step back and learn was big for me, and it's a little painful, but it's like a good lesson for me to learn, right? And it goes to that same thing. Yeah, I can't have those expectations of those people. I can't expect that people feel the same way as me all the time.
Exactly, because it's like that thing of like, if I got that show, I know I would like call Mark and be like, dude, I got this picture.
And that would be your prerogative.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody handles that thing. And also, I'm sure Mark's like a really modest, nice guy. So he might have something where he like feels bad for some reason.
He's such a dummy. So I knew Mark. I saw Mark every day every week, a couple times a week for a couple of years. And then when he came back to the club one time, he messaged Jenny. He was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude?
That makes
and
me
then he
laugh
walked
so much.
in and he was like, hey. And I was like, what's up, Mark? You know what I mean? He's like, you could tell that he just thought nobody was going to remember him or anything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's really bizarre.
I was like, you were
like the guy.
You were one of the guys here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course we know who we are. Yeah.
So
he's
a sweet
goofball.
baby.
Yeah. I'm producing a show with him now in Chicago.
Yeah. So you found a nice venue out there?
Yeah, dude, it's sick.
Is that so? You're out in Chicago, we talk all the time.
I'm in Chi-Town, baby. That's how people say it. Go Chi-Town. Pop, pop.
We talk pretty often. And one of
You can cut it if you want. It was simple. It was.
Oh
just,
no, it's staying in.
Staying in.
We talk pretty often, and one of the things that bothers me about you,
oh yeah,
there's nothing I can really do about it, is how often you say how bad you are at comedy, and meanwhile say how good all the people who are with you are, and it's like, no, you're just as good as all of those people. Do you do that intentionally to keep yourself motivated or driven? Do you really believe that?
I do really believe that. Sometimes.
Why? When other people tell you that you're wrong, why do you still believe it? Because you have to persist?
I think yeah, I don't know.
It is difficult to tell yourself that you are funny at it, but you do need to realize at some point.
But I am at a point right now where I do think I used to really like my jokes.
Yeah.
And what I'm writing. And now I think my jokes are so dumb, and they're like I'm glad I recorded them all.
The crowds laugh?
Yeah, but of course, yes, crowds laugh. But I've been doing comedy long enough to know that sometimes crowds laugh at things.
That's true.
That, it's not necessarily about making... It is.
Sometimes you kill and you look at the crowd and you're like, you're so stupid.
Yes. Yeah.
Bunch of dummies. Trick
You
shit.
shouldn't be laughing right now.
Yeah.
I used to be like, oh man, a bunch of kids my age in the crowd. This is going to be sweet. And now I'm like, oh, dude, I need like 55-year-olds. I need to see some high visibility jackets. I need some hard hats. I need some Coors Light going. Like, that's my audience.
A
now,
ham
which-
and eggs
nothing
man.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to write some jokes that I think in my head, I go, oh, that's kind of smart.
Well,
I
that's
just really respect them.
the heady comedians.
Not so much heady, but
It's like,
just,
oh, you don't have to fit my demographic to get it. You'll just, it's universal. Is that what you're saying?
yes,
That's good. The goalposts,
touchdown.
the goalposts are moving. You know what I mean? Goalposts are constantly moving. And so if you were staying the same as you were 3 years ago and you're like fine with that, that would be an issue. The fact that you want to change is good.
I want it.
But you do beat yourself up more than most people I know.
Yeah, I do. I don't
So
know.
finding
I don't know,
this-
I don't know where it comes from. I can't fix it. I guess when you always say like I'm good at talking like to myself like I would to other people. I've been trying to do that
That's good.
because I would never tell somebody else like, hey, all your jokes fucking suck.
Yeah, dude.
I would never say that to somebody.
But you do, when you say it to yourself, your brain starts to believe it.
Yeah,
And you really do have to like changing the way that you talk to yourself is so fucking huge, man. Like not calling yourself a dumb piece of shit is like it's like a really big deal, man.
That's not healthy.
It's no.
Oh.
No, yeah. You should definitely not do that, dude.
how's it looking down there? Are you happy? with it?
It looks like a leg. With a tattoo now.
That's a good tattoo
tattoo.
artist joke. Those kind of bits are the best bits. Like I know some like I deal blackjack. So I've got like blackjack dealer
Give me
little bits.
Oh, you're dealing me blackjack. And I'm like,
Well,
should I hit here? And you say,
If you want to lose, you piece of shit.
One of my I don't use it because it's not technically mine, but one of the dealers that I do work with, they'll have people that go, "Do I hit this?" And then they go, "Well, what did it say?" It's just kind of funny.
stupid.
But since I do for fun money or like it's casino parties,
Yeah.
so I'm allowed to like spoof around and have some fun. So if let's say I'm the dealer and I get a 21 on that last card, sometimes I'll do this trick where I flick it upside down and kind of scoot it off the table. And I go, 7s are wild. And I like put a new card out or something.
Yeah.
That makes people laugh.
That's fun. Let's talk about gambling.
Okay.
You want to talk about
I
it?
almost got a gambling tattoo, but then
Really? What was it? That's what I assumed you were
Kenny
getting.
Rogers?
it was going to be
What's that?
Kenny Rogers?
No.
The gambler, yeah. Well, because
No, it was gonna
that's the
be
thing.
it was gonna be 2 dice on 4 because I won $1,200 on a 4 the other day.
What's your tattoo mean? One time I won $1,200.
And now I'm homeless.
But remember that time. That was one of the first things we, you and I both, had to talk about a lot because I
I didn't even
fancy
know
myself a
that
gambler.
took a while too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't start playing cards again until COVID.
It's right around when I stopped.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I still dabble, but I was like,
I think it's a good thing I didn't get into it when I was here because I really had no money and I
Right.
still would have loved it. I know I would have
Yeah.
because I learned how to play when I was like 13, 14, and I played a lot with my dad online.
so your dad was playing online poker and you were
Yeah,
playing?
in the poker boom after Chris Moneymaker and all that, or even a little bit before, my dad was playing cards online, and then I would play next to him on like it must have been the cutest thing. I don't know how we don't have a picture of it because my dad would be playing, and then I'd be next to him on my laptop,
Yeah.
and I would play like quarter tournaments,
Yeah,
you know. But there was one time I was like 14 years old. I won a quarter tournament, first place, and it was like 300 people. So I won like, it doesn't sound stupid,
50,
but
$60 or something?
I won $25. It was like
Nice.
$25 or something off a quarter.
That's great.
And my dad was like shocked, you know. And
Fucking
I remember
prodigy
him
over
going
here.
to my mom being like, Kathy, he's
The
won.
kid's got it.
He's won the bloody poker tournament. And then I remember my mom
Brilliant.
being like, oh my God, for real money? And my dad was like, who cares?
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, exactly. But
How
yeah,
many
Sorry, it
parents
wasn't a home run. Let him have it.
my parents have been. Oh, see, like this stuff right here. This is the stuff that I got on my other tattoo, and that's the ticket when he does when that little noise, that little he's
One more
smiling.
time?
He likes it.
He doesn't like it. He
yeah,
just he
likes
does it to himself. He doesn't really.
Yeah. He wouldn't do anything to anyone wouldn't do to himself.
Oh, I got.
Mhm.
I feel like you Forrest Gumped your way through all of the trades.
I am a 100% fall into a bucket of shit and come out smelling like not shit,
Not
but
shit.
not necessarily roses.
Smelling like Boodro,
yeah,
baby.
yeah, clean enough.
I smell like some freshly cooked crawfish.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that shit. Seth loves.
He
Shaq.
does.
Oh,
He does.
I
Shaq.
love that. Yeah.
Big fan. I've just been thinking about food for the last couple of days, man. Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
bang, dude.
What have you learned being in Chicago? Like, I mean, it's got to be a learning curve to
Don't wear Kansas City Royals hats.
Well, I'm talking about like because you figure Fargo, like
Yeah.
small town, middle nothing.
Uh-huh.
You're originally from Minnesota.
Yep.
I don't know if you're from a big town or a city in Minnesota.
Suburb of Minneapolis. So
Okay.
like
So nothing
Pretty big.
super huge. But,
nothing super huge, yeah.
And so Greensboro's, I mean, on the bigger side, but still, like, man, Chicago is like
It's a real city.
it's a real
Yeah.
city. So like, what's that learning curve been like?
So I think what helped me was now again, I don't know if it's bravery or stupidity. Probably stupidity. But I was so everything was so romantic. I was so happy to be in a city where I could hop on a train and get a slice of pie at 2 a.m. So it was like everything was cool. You know, I would see like two rats fighting, and I wouldn't be like, "Oh, that's gross." I'd be like, "Look at that! There's two rats fighting." You know, so I think I didn't have a lot of this fear of like, "Oh, I'm moving to the big city," and all the. I just kind of I loved all of it. I thought
You're a
all
country
of it was
mouse
cool.
compared to the Chicago, yeah.
Yeah. What now?
You were a country mouse, you know, compared to
No,
Chicago.
I was the opposite. I feel like country mice are a little like timid and scared.
Mm.
I wanted to jump right in, you know, smoke cigarette butts that I found on the sidewalk.
Ah,
I wanted
that's
to
living.
become like a city slicker. I was excited to be there. I think that really helped. I was
You wanted to be like that. Hey, I'm walking it.
Hey, I wanted to be that guy so bad, but nobody ever got in my way. So.
Have you been that guy? Have you gotten to be the?
Hey, I'm
city
fucking
guy?
walking it now. No.
No, I just mean the city guy. Like you picture yourself living anywhere else, or Chicago is where you are from now on, or what?
I really like it. Me and Kelly really like it.
Yeah. Seems like a good town.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I can walk to the beach in the summer.
Convenient.
What?
It's convenient.
It's very convenient. There's a bunch of good food. I've seen some cool bands. And
Is the comedy the thing that is the most difficult in Chicago for you? the most
no,
frustrating?
paying rent for sure.
Yeah. Because of comedy.
Yeah, well, yeah, that and just working is a lot. I'm sorry, my brain's like
That's all right.
at like 60% right now.
We're gonna cut this whole thing up and just take words that you said and make the sentences I want.
Oh, you could probably just zoom in on my fucking face for most of it, to be honest. Percentage wise,
like a country
where
mouse.
are we at, Boodro?
Oh, we're at like 74.
That's a great percentage. That's a great percentage, baby. That's a great percentage. And I
bet
know
on
it's
that.
probably 65.
No,
No, he's,
Okay.
he
I don't
knows.
lie, bro.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
When it
No.
comes to tattooing, I don't fucking lie.
Yeah, there's no need.
It's almost done. It's just not. It's still doing the
100%.
stencil.
I used to tell everybody 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
how long
yeah,
do I
yeah,
have
yeah.
left? Like, if you would have asked, you asked where we're at in it,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna give you an honest assessment. If you'd have been like, how much longer do we have?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
He would have said exactly like, oh, just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
100% your last tattoo?
No.
You lied.
Boudreaux says confidently no. I don't know. We'll see. If any more of my friends die, I guess I'll have to get more. It's
What
really up to
tattoo will you
them.
get when I die?
Fuck. What do you want?
I don't know. He didn't get to choose.
Get
you
a
know what I mean?
whale.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did not get to choose. He got this crazy tattoo before. He had like a Tibetan. They make these crazy like circle patterns,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to represent the
What are those
circle
called?
of life.
Yeah.
It's fucking gnarly. He got it. It was a little bit too big, but
He could sit through it.
he got really into the whole like circle. I don't know if it was Buddhist necessarily, but the conversion of all living things and stuff. He had just graduated law school, and he was studying for the bar. He wanted to be like a criminal defense lawyer.
Okay. It's wild.
So he wanted to be a public defender. That's what he wanted to do, which I think is cool as shit.
Yeah, he was just looking out for you. He's like, Nick's gonna do this.
Or himself.
Yeah.
He did. He was kind of my
Counsel.
fun time shaman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nice.
Because he was like 2 years older than me.
Okay.
Oh,
What do you want to talk about, Nick?
I'm gonna tell one Larry story.
One.
Larry, that was his name.
Yeah. Please tell
Okay.
Larry.
Because he was the best.
Yeah.
He got kicked out of. He got kicked out of driver's education. This is a class that you pay for.
Yes.
The teacher doesn't want to be like, you have to really be fucking around to get kicked out of driver's ed. And he wasn't being rude or disruptive. He was moonwalking. He was moonwalking too much in driver's ed, so they had to kick him out.
Is there an amount that they'll allow? in
Yeah.
driver's ed?
Well, I think, he was allowed 1 or 2 struts back and forth, but he apparently was really just in the back of the classroom, just side to side moonwalking. Like he couldn't be in there.
I think that's a
anymore.
law, no moonwalking while merging. So that might
Yeah.
be a
Yeah.
thing.
I know that wasn't a very long story.
No, that's funny. I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah. He was the best at having a good time, in my opinion, because that's the kind of thing I like. He was good at having a good time, and it's not always going out and raging and partying. It's about like quality time with people you like. So I think he was really good at that.
Hell yeah.
What was his name, Larry?
Larry, yeah.
It's a good skill.
Hopefully this does him a little bit of honor, man. I love memorial tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
They're my jam because memorial tattoos mean a lot more than just a tattoo.
Mhm.
Like it's a remembrance. It's a moment in time. It's so many different things, like,
Yeah.
man, you're going to look at this tattoo every time. You're going to come back to this moment. You're going to go back to those moments with your friend, man. And like, that's special stuff,
Mm-hmm.
man. And I love memorial tattoos with a passion, so hopefully this is going to do it justice, but you finished, Nick. See, I wasn't
Oh,
lying about
shit,
the
am I
70.
done?
Yeah, man.
Get
I
the
wasn't
fuck out of
lying.
here.
Goo goo gaga.
Salute.
Look at that. And I didn't even complain.
Take a look, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, right over there, buddy.
Capture, you're seeing it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. It's like smoldering, too.
Mm.
So you're going to see it pop out. But if you look real close along the edges, there's like orange. Like, how paper will have that little bit of
That's
orange?
what I was talking about.
Yeah, so it's going to have like that little orange ember look. It's very subdued. It's not crazy,
Oh,
but it's
I
there.
love that. Thank you, Boodro. That is fucking awesome.
I didn't go crazy with the smoke or
No,
anything.
no.
Yeah, just.
That's a badass tat, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for sharing and being a part of this. Because, like I say, people don't participate, this don't happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing, man. It's like I'm so stoked that people actually come and give me trust and be a part of this thing.
100% last tattoo?
No.
Yeah. Another 8 years before you get another one?
Yeah, maybe.
That's fair. So you
Bad
leave-
part is now I have to get Oscar the Grouch wearing your fucking clothes. That sucks. It was too funny not to get.
It was.